to an experience similar to ones that you've had before. Yes, another podcast featuring a couple of guys who think that they're funny. Two men, one microphone. This is Spoiled Rotten Movies.
Yes,
All right,
it
y'all.
is.
Yes, sir. Spoiler
Yes.
Rotten, what's up, everybody? How we doing?
How we doing, guys?
Oh my goodness! Another week.
Woo.
Another MarvelSode Monday.
That's
We're
right.
kicking it off with your host, as always, myself, Zane Gerlach, and
Travis Tilton.
that's right. He knows his own name.
That's right.
He's a good girl. Loves his mama. How's your week, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a busy week. How about you?
Yeah. Talk to me about it. What's been busy?
Oh man,
'Cause usually you just say, "I'm good." Hey, you? Like you're busy.
Things
Tell
are
me
starting to open up. Where we have actual things that are happening every single day. So little by little, we're trying to get back to normal. Which
to life as we used to know it.
That's right.
Yeah, man. It's weird, man, because it's one of those things are just slightly open. Like they're not
right. Not
100%
fully.
capacity.
We're like, hey, we're going to give you a little bit of a taste.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I know. Me personally, I'm a musician for my day job, so it's like one of those things. Like even though places are starting to maybe open up their patio a little bit, do some stuff, like they're still not in the place to where they're having. Yeah, they're not having people play or.
They're not ready for you yet.
They ain't ready for it. Bow, bow. I can't do that. I think that's a copyrighted song. Anyways,
Right.
Mr. Travis, we got. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, you
had something to say. I'm gonna let you talk.
I was just wondering if you were excited about talking about Iron Man 2.
Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about it. I'm more ready to talk about this one, I think, than any of the other Marvel movies we've seen so far.
Good.
Because I was kind of negative. I wasn't totally negative. I was kind of negative with Iron Man. Mm-hmm. Very negative with the Hulk.
As deserved.
And I have mixed feelings about this movie, but we can do our plot rundown, interpretive dance, and then we can get into talking about all the things and stuff.
That's right. Okay.
Sound all right?
Absolutely. So,
all right.
Let's talk about trailers. Have you seen any new trailers lately that you're excited about?
Dude, let me tell you what. Okay, so are you familiar with Space Force?
Yes, our 6th military branch. I am so excited.
So creators of The Office are coming out with next Netflix exclusive show called Space Force, and it's starring Steve Carell in the main role. The trailer doesn't really. It gives you the gist of what it's about. It's somebody being assigned. Okay, you're in charge of organizing the Space Force, which is a ridiculous thing to have to find out how to militarize outer space.
Right.
And then, just basically trying to figure it out. Like, it's a guy winging it and just trying to make his way through it, man. Like, it's like somebody says, create something that's never created before. And you're like, all right, we're just going to figure it out, man. Like,
that'd be such a tall order.
Dude, yeah.
So, but yeah, I acted as if I have never heard about Space Force. I have. I've seen the trailer too.
Dude,
my favorite part of the trailer was when they were talking about Space Force becoming a new military branch of the government, and they're talking about someone's going to have to start running it, and Steve Carell's like laughing, like, huh, "What a loser's going to have to run that one." They point at him, and he's like,
he goes,
"Oh, what?" So funny.
How about you, man? What were you looking at?
So there's a trailer for a new movie coming out. I don't even know what it's coming out on. I think it's Netflix. But it is a remake of an old 1980s movie called Valley Girl. This was one of Nicolas Cage's first movies that he was ever in. Basically, these girls from the Valley in Los Angeles, which are very rich, meet up with this kid who was originally played by Nicolas Cage, that is from the more rough area of Los Angeles, and
Okay.
it's a love story about that. But they've turned it into a musical, which the original was not a musical.
It's a musical.
Yeah, they've turned it into a
What?
musical. It stars the girl from Happy Death Day. Have you seen that yet?
That was on. I think it was on Netflix for a while, and I kept
Yeah.
scrolling past it, but I was like, that looks dumb. I never clicked on it.
It's dumb, but it's intentionally dumb. Like, it's one of those movies, like, I thought, like, this is going to be the worst movie I've ever seen, but they know that you're expecting it to be the worst movie that you've ever seen, and they're okay with that. And they really camp it up. It's actually pretty fun. And then the second one was even weirder, and they like I kind of like it again thinking about it, because it was such a weird movie.
Yeah.
And I only watched it once, but oh man, it was fun.
Right.
It was fun. But yeah,
Well,
so there's the trailers.
We haven't done trailer talk in so long, man. It's been so long.
And we don't have many movies coming out for another few months, so we're gonna have to find some scarce movies to watch. But are you ready for the rundown of Iron Man 2?
My body is ready to interpret your speech. I'm gonna put my mic over here.
All right. So, Iron Man 2, released in 2010, screenplay written by Justin Theroux, directed by Jon Favreau. Iron Man 2. In Russia, the media covers Tony Stark's disclosure of his identity as Iron Man. Ivan Vanko, whose father, Anton Vanko, has just died, sees this and begins building a miniature arc reactor similar to Stark's. 6 months later, Stark is a superstar and uses his Iron Man suit for peaceful means, resisting government pressure to sell his designs. He reinstitutes the Stark Expo in Flushing Meadows, New York, to continue his father Howard's legacy. Later, Stark learns that the palladium core in the arc reactor that keeps him alive and powers the armor is slowly poisoning him, and he cannot find a substitute. Growing increasingly reckless and despondent about his impending death and choosing not to tell anyone about his condition, Stark appoints his personal assistant Pepper Potts as CEO of Stark Industries and hires Stark employee Natalie Rushman to replace her as his personal assistant. Stark competes in the Monaco Historic Grand Prix, where he is attacked in the middle of the race by Vanko, wielding electrified whips, and Stark dons his armor and defeats Vanko, but the suit is severely damaged. Vanko explains that his intention was to prove to the world that Iron Man is not invincible. Impressed by Vanko's performance, Stark's rival Justin Hammer fakes Vanko's death while breaking him out of prison and asks him to build a line of armored suits to upstage Stark. During what he believes is his final birthday party, Stark gets drunk while wearing the Iron Man suit. Disgusted, Stark's best friend, U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes, dons Stark's prototype armor and tries to restrain him. The fight ends in a stalemate, and Rhodes confiscates the armor for the U.S. Air Force. Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., approaches Stark, revealing that Rushman is Agent Natasha Romanoff and that Howard Stark was a S.H.I.E.L.D. founder whom Fury knew personally. Fury explains that Vanko's father and Stark invented the arc reactor together, but when Anton tried to sell it, Stark had him deported. The Soviets sent Anton to the Gulag. Fury gives Stark some of the father's old material. Tony discovers a hidden message in the diorama of the 1974 Stark Expo. It proves to be a new element, a new diagram of an atomic structure of a new element. With the aid of his AI, Jarvis, Stark synthesizes it. When he learns that Vanko is still alive, he places the new element in his arc reactor and ends his palladium dependency. At the expo, Hammer unveils Vanko's armored drones, led by Rhodes and a heavily weaponized version of the prototype armor. Stark arrives to warn Rhodes, but Vanko takes remote control of all the drones and Rhodes' armor and attacks Stark. Hammer is arrested, while Romanoff and Stark's bodyguards, Happy Hogan, go after Vanko at a Hammer's factory. Vanko escapes, but Romanoff returns control of Rhodes' armor to him. Together, Stark and Rhodes defeats Vanko and his drones. Vanko commits suicide by blowing up his suit, along with the defeated drones. At a debriefing, Fury informs Stark that because of his difficult personality, S.H.I.E.L.D. intends to use him only as a consultant. Stark and Rhodes receives medal for their heroism. In a post-credit scene, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson reports the discovery of a large hammer at the bottom of a crater in a desert in New Mexico. The end.
Da-na-na-na-na-na, the end.
That was fun.
It was fun. That was a
So, what worked?
man. All right, so I think one of my complaints with Iron Man 1 is that Tony Stark, I understand he was supposed to be cocky and everything, but he
Right.
was so ridiculously unlikable. I didn't like him at all. Like, I'm sure he was just supposed to be this cocky guy who,
Mhm.
is like good with the ladies and it's whatever. But like, he was just so unlikable. First things first, I want to say what did work is the fact that Justin Hammer sounds totally like a porn star name.
It sure does. It sure does.
And he said, and like, I could totally see him being played by Owen Wilson the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole time he's like, wow, let me tell you, you really are. That's all I got. I go, wow. But yeah, Tony Stark was so sorry. I would want to forget that nugget before we moved on.
No, it's a good nugget.
But yeah, like, Tony Stark was so unlikable in the first movie. I'm sure that's what makes him likable to everybody. But like, I was like, he's just rude. He had no compassion until like maybe the last like 5 minutes of the movie. And then this movie starts out and he's still unlikable like at the beginning, but like it's pretty quickly like he has some character evolution that happens.
Right.
Like dealing with his mortality. Like, he's like, all right, well, maybe I shouldn't be a total dick to everybody. Like, I can learn to, let a little bit of that go and kind of, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that personally, I think that Sam Rockwell, who plays Justin Hammer, did an amazing job at that role. Especially with how limited it was. You could just tell that Sam Rockwell was playing that part effortlessly.
Yeah, I enjoyed his character a lot.
Yeah, he's
Still
just a lot of fun to watch.
Been Owen Wilson, but
right, Sam Rockwell's one of my favorite actors, and so I'll defend him to the death.
Right.
But I think that Sam Rockwell should have had a much bigger part because we don't really see him that much after this movie.
This series.
Yeah. So after this movie, Sam Rockwell, Justin Hammer doesn't really show up again, which is sad, but it is what it is.
I mean, he goes to prison, so it makes sense that his character ceases to be part of the.
And I really liked, and in a way, I liked Mickey Rourke playing the villain. Like, just those whips were fun to watch. There's a lot of wrong with it. Like, there's a lot of things that I wasn't happy about.
If we're focusing on good things, like, I really enjoyed his character design.
Yes, his character design was great. He looked great.
Looked rugged and strong, and like the tattoos, like head to toe. He had the weird bleach streaks for no reason, and like he just looked tough. Like, I was all about it.
And the cool thing is, like, Mickey Rourke made a lot of the decisions. Like, he was the one that said, I want a bird. He's like, I want a pet cockatoo. So they got him a pet cockatoo. They literally got him a pet cockatoo, even though it wasn't in the script.
Really?
He researched all of those. He researched all of his tattoos to make sure that they were authentically good Russian tattoos that someone like him would have. And all the times that he spoke in Russian, that was him. Like,
that was real Russian. Like,
he decided that character would speak in Russian half the time and speak in English the other half of the time. And I don't even know if he knew how to speak Russian before the movie even started.
It was just learned it to say what he needed to say.
He just decided, you know what? I think we're going to speak Russian today. So like, that kind of stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
But
focusing on the good things.
On the other hand, right. Let's go ahead and move into what didn't work. What did not work for you?
Wow, his character was so bad.
Yes.
Looked really cool.
Looked so cool.
Sounded super cool. Just a terrible character.
Yes.
Oh my god. I was telling my wife before we got started, I was like, I think this movie would almost have been better if there was no bad guy in it.
True.
Like, I enjoyed the movie involving Tony Stark and his character development a lot more. I would have preferred to have like I don't know, like less fighting. I know that sounds stupid. It's an Iron Man movie, and like you got this huge budget, and you're like, we're gonna blow some stuff up. But like, I would have preferred just focusing more on his story, which I know is something I complained a lot about in the first film. Is that like the first hour and a half just dragged,
right?
But like the first hour and a half of Iron Man 1 is like
you knew exactly where it was going in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, there was nothing that happened, and I was like, what? No way! Like,
and I kind of agree with you because one of the most popular Iron Man comics is him fighting his alcoholism, and there's no villain. Yeah, it's just him versus the bottle. I think it's Iron Man versus the bottle, or Iron Man into the something like that, and it's just him facing his alcoholism, him like just as a completely fractured kind of person, like that anti-hero type of person. I think that if they focused a little bit more on that, it could have been a much better movie.
Also, what I thought didn't work, now I realized I looked this up before we got started. I don't like Don Cheadle as much as I liked Terrence Howard in the role.
Oh, no. I like Don Cheadle.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Don Cheadle as an actor. I feel like their age difference is only 4 years.
I would have thought it was more.
I think Don Cheadle's got some city miles on him. Like he looks a bit older than
he does.
Than Terrence Howard does. And when I first saw him coming in, because I knew that they had recast. I think we talked about that they recasted him in this movie. I was like, okay, I'm ready to see Don Cheadle. And I saw him come out, and I was like, man, he looks 50. Like he looks as old as he is, while Terrence Howard looks. Shoot, he's 51 now, so this is 2000. What? When does the movie come out?
2010 is when it came out.
2010. So he was in his early 40s then. He was 41, and
he looked in his late
30s. Yeah,
late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like if you're gonna recast somebody, like I said, Don Cheadle's a good actor. I have no qualms with his acting outside of this movie. I have no qualms with his acting inside of this movie. I have qualms with the appearance of him.
That makes sense. I did like how he like when they introduced him, he was like, "This is me. I'm here. Let's get over it.
I am this person."
Yes, I am here. This is me. Let's move on. I thought that was a really clever way to introduce a new actor on the same character.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with that. That was a very bad part of I did not like that part of the movie. Another thing that I did not like was the final fight scene.
Oh my gosh. The final battle. I didn't get a chance to talk about it yet, but yeah.
There was so much buildup, so much stuff about all these drones that were going to go after them. Mickey Rourke with his whips was going to be a huge fight, and literally it took 25 seconds and they were done.
Yeah,
and I was like
the drone fight was cool. Like it was like flying all around, shooting stuff.
Right.
What's his name? What's his character's name? Don Cheadle's character.
Right.
I'll call him War Machine because I don't know his
James
character's name.
Rhodey.
He's like, I don't have control. And he's like giving him updates and stuff, and it was cool. It was all that, and then like Mickey Rourke hits the ground. They're like, oh man, it's him. And he's like, yep, it's me. Whip, whip. Oh, you can't get out. And they're like, yes, we can. Boop. That was it. And I'm like,
it's just done. It was done.
That was it. Like, I bet 25 seconds might be the length of that fight scene. Legitimately. Right. Like, it's under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It is so short. And the drone fight took like 5-10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
It was such a good build up to it. And then they were just like, oh, we need to cut for time. And okay, it ends now.
Here's my thing about, because I told you on the first movie, I kept clock watching. I'm like, God, or no, not that, but Incredible Hulk. I was like, man,
Oh yeah.
When is this movie gonna be done? And I was watching this one, I didn't necessarily feel that way. Like, admittedly, I was like, okay, this is a long movie, but
The pace wasn't terrible.
yeah, it didn't drag most of the time. And you see Ivan making this super cool whip version 2.0, and he's talking to Tony about it on the phone, blah 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 blah, and it's just build up, and then like you see like snippets of it, but you don't see the actual suit. And then it happens, and it's a letdown, man.
It
I
is.
know we're harping on this, but this is something I wanted to talk about before we moved on, because this bummed me out quite a bit.
If you're watching a superhero movie, you're going to expect a final fight scene between the good guy and the bad guy. Mm-hmm. That's just a part of comic book movies and superhero movies.
I guess if we look at it, like, he was controlling the drones, so like it wasn't like he wasn't fighting him during that point. It just wasn't
true
man to man, face to face. It was like but he wasn't a character that was like he didn't build himself up as a character that was like, I make all these traps, but I'm actually kind of a weak guy. It was like, I'm strong and I have all this stuff. So it's like, all right, well, you thought he would just come out and I mean,
in my opinion, the fight scene in Monaco during the race was 10 times better than the final fight scene at the end of the movie.
Here's my issue with that. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Ready. Let's go.
He takes these whips, cuts cars into half.
Yes.
Like it's a knife through butter.
Yeah.
But he smacks Tony Stark and it throws him through the air.
Yeah.
How?
He's made of iron.
No, he was not wearing the Iron Man suit. He got smacked in like a onesie, and like he's just like, like he got pushed. I'm like,
you want to know why?
Because it makes sense. Because it wouldn't have been.
Because if he killed, I have no idea. But if he killed Tony Stark at that point, that would have been the end. Like it wouldn't have even been Iron Man 2. It would have been Iron Man 1.5. Literally, literally one and a half.
Takeover. It's that, but like, if you're gonna be consistent, like, have him like have a whole bunch of really close calls and not actually hit him, and then get bumped by like he gets thrown by something else. But don't have it be like these whips literally slice through an entire car.
Yeah,
but they just kind of push a human being. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And my only response to that is, it was so cool, man.
Yeah, and also, cool. John...
It looked awesome.
Also about this scene.
Okay.
Like, Mickey Rourke's character has, like, this vest thing on with the power supply. Like, at the race. I'm talking about the race.
Right.
And, like, a pair of pants. He gets run over gets pinned into a wall 4 times.
Yes.
And walks away?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? Yeah. That would not happen. No. I get superheroes being strong, but he didn't have any protection.
Okay. So here's the thing, Zane. We're in week 3 of a 23-week series on comic book characters. If you're not going to suspend your disbelief on the fact that the big bad guy doesn't die halfway through the movie, you're going to have a long 20 weeks from here on out. Did you know that there is a superhero that we're going to meet later that is a tree?
Mm-hmm.
He's a tree. Like, you're complaining about this
He's
now.
An alien tree. This was a human being.
I'm just saying.
With human bones that break when you get thrown at a wall with a car.
Maybe with that attitude, yes. No,
with logic. What is going on? Like, I'm all here for the superhero stuff. You know, I want to believe. I want to believe that I'm going to like these movies, Travis. I really do. And if they don't get funnier, then they better get more logical.
That's fair.
Like Thor? Thor is a god. Actual god. If he gets hit by a car and nothing happens, I get that. If the Hulk, who is the size of like a car, can just punch a tank, I can suspend my disbelief because he's he's got whatever the hell it is he has in his body. Like,
that makes sense.
but a human being
Ivan
cannot get
Vanko
in
was
against a
Russian.
wall by a car. He's just enough vodka, and then you can just your bones come
he's
break.
Russian. That's,
okay,
that's all you need to
that's
know.
fine. You know what? You're right. Screw everything I just said. He's Russian.
That vest was very high tech and it was very heavy and
on his chest,
took the majority of the blow.
It did
not,
but that's fine.
I mean, he didn't look very good at the end of the scene. So
okay, hang on.
So he was kind of like in a little bit of a trouble, but
hang on. You keep talking. I'm gonna look something up.
All right. So while you do that, we're going to go ahead and go into our power rankings. So, Zane, tell me, how did this rank in your power rankings?
All right. So you're starting me at the top, not at the bottom, right?
Right. So you have 1, 2, 3, somewhere Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. You've only watched 3 of them. Yeah. Where does this rank between Iron Man and Incredible Hulk?
All right. So for one, I couldn't find a picture of him being pinned against the wall by his hips, not touching that thing at all. That being said, I had obviously Incredible Hulk is going to be bottom of the list, bottom of the barrel. It's going to be really hard to beat that. I was talking with my family over the weekend about how we had the podcast and how I'm having to watch all this. And I was like, The Incredible Hulk might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Wow. And like, I'm somebody who enjoys bad movies, but I enjoy bad movies that are like so bad they're good.
Right.
Or like bad, but like they're still funny. But this is just like it's just so bad, which is weird because I think it's rated at like a 67 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It is. It's yes.
Which blows my mind. But Iron Man 1 dragged a whole bunch at the beginning, had a lot of build-up, gratifying fight scene, although campy.
Of course.
Gratifying. This movie enjoyed the story a lot more, but everything involving the actual superhero aspect of it, I didn't really enjoy that much.
Gotcha.
Like, as far as fighting baddies, I would have to put this out of the 3, and it hurts me to do this because I really did enjoy the story. I'll have to put it at 2.
Number 2.
Iron Man, and then Iron Man 2, and then Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Top to bottom.
So, yeah, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, which puts me, since I've seen them all, I've already have them all pre-ranked. Okay. Of the 23 movies, I already had Iron Man at number 11.
Right.
And Incredible Hulk at number 22.
I really don't want to know what 23 is.
Where do you think I put Iron Man 2?
I want to say that I think that you would agree with me. Because like, before I even had a chance to complain about the fight scene, you complained about it. Like, yeah. And I'm the one who's whining about everything right now. So I want to say that knowing everything that you know, maybe having Iron Man hit a nostalgic spot for you, maybe pushing a little higher up on the list than, I don't know if Iron Man's going to be 11 on my list. We'll see what happens when everything rolls out. I'd say he'd probably put it in between the 2.
Okay.
Is that accurate?
That is accurate, yeah. So you got anywhere between 12 and 21.
That being said as well, I had a hard time choosing between the 2. So I think maybe, I'm going to say like 13 or 14 is where you got Iron Man 2.
Okay. Actually, it is 19.
Really?
19, yeah. So
you didn't like this one as much, or
I did.
You didn't like it as much as other movies?
I think I liked it a lot better the second time around. But there's a lot of really good movies in between Iron Man that I have ranked between Iron Man and Iron Man 2, especially now that I'm looking through them. They're just
Where would you say for you on your list, like, starts the, like, I just didn't like this? Like, do you think they all have their merit, or is there like a tier like below 19 where you're just like, these are just bad?
Anything below this one. I think 20 through 23, I just didn't like. Maybe 20 I did. It could have been a lot better, but we have a little bit ways to go before we hit 20. So,
see, I don't even know what it is, and you guys aren't going to know either. So
I know that's the fun part. All right. So, with that said, are you ready for trivia?
Travis, I don't know if I could be more ready for trivia.
Oh, same here. All right. So, here's trivia question number 1.
Okay.
Justin Theroux, who wrote the screenplay,
Favreau
also wrote what? Justin Theroux.
Okay.
Theroux.
Sorry, I thought you were saying Jon Favreau. I was like, what?
No, not Jon Favreau. He's the director, but Justin Theroux, who was he was in The Leftovers on HBO. If you ever watched that, he's in a lot of other TV shows, movies. Was married to Jennifer Aniston at one point, but either way,
just move on because I have no idea who that is.
Okay. You don't know who Jennifer Aniston? Okay,
I know who Jennifer Aniston is.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so Justin Theroux, who wrote the screenplay, also wrote what other Robert Downey Jr. movie?
Okay.
Is it A, Tropic Thunder, B, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, C, A Scanner Darkly, or D, Doolittle?
Are they buddies? Do you know?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, I don't think that they're like best friends for life.
I just know.
I think that we
reviewed Doolittle in the past,
right?
And I remember you saying that was like a passion project for Robert Downey,
right?
So if they were buddies, maybe it would lean a little bit more that way.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what Scanner Darkly is.
Oh, Scanner Darkly, so fun. It's weird.
Is it old? Is it new? Is it like this age?
I would say early 2000s.
Early 2000s. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was, what else was there? There was
Tropic Thunder. And Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows.
Is that a real movie, or are you just making up the...
Yeah, it's the sequel. I wouldn't make this up. I mean, I would, but I
was like, you would. That's the whole point of the trivia.
I would, but I'm not. That's the full title of the second Sherlock Holmes movie.
I'm going to say... Doolittle.
Incorrect. Not Doolittle. It was Tropic Thunder.
Really?
Yes, he was a co-writer, co-wrote the screenplay with Ben Stiller on Tropic Thunder. So, 0 for 1. Second question.
All right, second question.
Even though the role went to Scarlett Johansson, Emily Blunt was in early talks to play the Black Widow.
Okay.
But she turned it down for what movie?
Ooh, okay.
Is it A, Romeo and Juliet?
Romeo and Juliet?
Yes, Romeo and Juliet. B, Gulliver's Travels.
Okay.
C, The Devil Wears Prada. Or D, Looper. All 4 of these movies she has been in, or she was in.
She has been in, okay. Do you know how sad you would feel if you turned down being Black Widow to be in Romeo and Juliet? That would be the worst. Like,
so
something
bad.
I had to be reminded existed just now. Like,
right.
Same about Gulliver's Travels. Wasn't Gulliver's? Isn't that Jack Black?
Yes, it is.
God, that's super bad too. Like, both of those movies are god awful.
Yes.
Devil Wears Prada, potentially a good move. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that's one of those movies that's like good, but like there's a cult following for it.
Oh yeah, and I'm a part of that cult following. I love Devil Wears Prada.
And then Looper. I'm trying to think time frame because I've seen Loop. Isn't that one where they like time travel? Like they like teleport?
Right. Yeah, time travel.
Is it time travel or is it teleport?
time travel because it's Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking a different movie. I'm thinking Jumper.
Oh yeah,
Thinking
Jumper's
Jumper.
teleporting. Looper is
Looper's a good one too.
Yes, it is.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I want to say that's more recent than Iron Man 2. So I'm gonna
Okay.
take that out of my brain. Your face gives me the, oh, you stupid idiot. You should have said Looper. But I don't know how to read you. I really hope it's not Naomi. I'm going to go with Gulliver's Travel because I just want to say that it's that bad.
It is B, Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah! Bad move.
What a terrible move. Because
wow,
this is not the last time we will see Scarlett Johansson in the Marvel Comics universe. And actually,
I've seen Avengers.
Yeah, and the next movie that comes out will be the Black Widow movie.
That got postponed, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It got pushed back to November. We'll actually be right around the end of our 23-week
Maybe we'll
saga.
Tag it on the end.
Yeah, we'll tag it on the end. All right, so Iron Man 2, believe it or not, got an Academy Award nomination.
Ooh, a nomination.
In what category?
Okay.
Is it A, Best Sound Editing, B, Best Visual Effects, C, Best Adapted Screenplay, or D, Best Picture?
I would say sound editing, I don't know if it would be that, because I was watching it, I remember hearing like Iron Man's like kind of like robotic sound at one point, and I was like, that seems so fake. I mean, visual effects, man. Like, it's an Iron Man movie with a huge budget.
Right.
Then you've got Best Picture, which, if we're putting it at 19 and 2 right now, I mean, 2 subjectively, obviously, but or objectively, that's the one.
Yes.
And what was the other one? The third one?
Best Adapted Screenplay.
I'm gonna say visual effects.
And it is B, Best Visual Effects. You got 2 in a row.
This is making up for last week where I got none. 0.
You are getting better. All right, last question. What did Mickey Rourke say was the hardest part about playing Ivan?
Okay.
Was it A, speaking Russian, B, he hates birds, C, the fact that he not breaking character with Robert Downey Jr., or D, he doesn't know how to use a computer?
I don't believe that. I feel like, isn't Mick, like, I don't know. I'm speculating.
Okay.
I think I've heard that he's a weird dude. Like, like Mickey Rourke is like, wouldn't surprise me if he had like a Nokia phone that just had like Snake on it.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's 2010. We got the iPod, man. We got iPads, I think, at this point.
Right.
When did the iPod come out? Next question. Come up with that. Find out when the iPod came out.
2008.
I want to say he hates birds. Like, that seems like a weird enough thing that he's like, all right, you know what? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is it hates birds?
So, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Okay, so I just told you that it was his idea to have the bird there. So no, it's not that he hates birds. He has no idea how to...
I'm an idiot!
Yes, you are. He has no idea how to use a computer. Not at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I am not technically sound at all. That was the hardest part. Was looking the part of being able to use a computer. Like that, he said he had no idea what he was doing. So I thought that was a fun.
You
fun
told
part.
me too.
I know, I did.
You told me to my face. You're like, he wants to use the bird, and I'm like, It's the bird thing.
Yeah, I put it up right on the tee, set it up for you, real
Man.
nice and easy, and you just
I'm
shanked
sorry.
it.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you.
50.
Yeah, you got 50% of them. Not bad. Let us know in the comments how you guys did.
Yeah, let us know what your score was.
Tell us how you did.
Also, let us know. We're if you've made it this far into the episode.
First of all, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I don't
we're
know
gonna be doing these live streams weekly.
Yeah.
Hopefully, whenever we podcast, this will be the way that we display it for you, whether we're in the same room or whether we're quarantined.
Right.
And separated. Got to keep them separated. But let us know. We're thinking about doing some sort of like poll ahead of time, and I can use you guys as like a lifeline. When I be like, okay, so what did the audience say, and like kind of use that sort of thing, or maybe like a phone a friend. We can do something like that.
Do I have to start sounding like Regis Philbin? I
can start sounding like Regis Philbin. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
All right. 50-50 chance.
Question 1.
For $100. Who is the... What is the name of the popular kids cereal? Is it Captain Punch? Captain Lunch? Captain Crunch? Or Crunchy Crunch Times?
Oh man, I don't know about that one, man. Can I ask you? Can I call you? Can you be my lifeline?
We can do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
that went on way too long.
that was a way too long of a bit for that.
Anyways, let us know if we submitted a poll ahead of time, would you guys complete it? Like, just to help make this a little bit more fun. Give you guys an idea of what the questions are going to be, or if you have ideas for questions, submit those to our email.
Yeah, our email.
Rotten
movies at gmail.com.
We're always looking for help on this kind of stuff. So
absolutely. So to finish it up,
Spoiled Rotten Podcast at Gmail.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's right. So what was your MVP of this movie?
MVP of the movie, man. It's got to probably go. Because I was thinking, I knew we were going to talk about this when it came up. And I was like, I'm between two people. I'm between Justin Hammer, because I did enjoy his character.
Yeah.
And ScarJo's character, Natasha
Romanoff, yeah.
Natasha Romanoff, because I liked her character a lot in this.
Yeah,
like,
it was fun.
I had to give it to Justin Hammer.
Justin
Hammer.
Yeah. All right.
He made me laugh. He was cocky, and like when he was getting interviewed by the reporter, and like she's trying to like get out, and he's like, "No, let me tell you all this stuff. I'm willing to give away so much information." She's just like, "I'm leaving." It made me laugh. And then like when it got to be kind of like the serious moment where he's taking all this stuff away from Ivan, like I kind of felt like he stepped into that kind of aggressive role. Like it wasn't played off as a funny moment. He's like, no, like I'm like mad, and I felt it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give it up to Justin Hammer, man.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell
is porn star name.
Yeah, Sam Rockwell rocked that out. But in my opinion, I think that the MVP goes to the congressman. I forget. I think it was Samuel Stern. Was his name?
Pretty funny.
He was hilarious to me, and like just everything that I would assume a politician would act like, he acted like it, and it was just great.
Yeah,
from the that entire scene with Congress was hilarious to me.
Yeah,
and when he was having to put the like medals on James Rhodes and had to like and bricked him, like he was funny, and it was a nice what could have been a very boring scene was done really well, and whoever that guy that they got to play him was very well done, and he fit it perfect.
Oh, also, can we talk about how Stan Lee's appearance, like he was
Oh yeah, he was Larry King.
Larry King.
Larry King. So now it's Larry King versus the guy from Playboy. What was his?
Versus Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. So
versus guy in the
right, but he already got defeated by Hugh Hefner. So it's Hugh Hefner versus Larry King. Who wins the Stan Lee?
I think
cameo?
Hugh Hefner was a funnier cameo. Like
Yeah.
I feel like Larry King went by so fast that like it took a set. Like it wasn't until after he was gone that I was like, wait, that was him. Like that was Stan Lee. Like in Iron Man 1 where he turns around, you see it's Stan Lee. Like you immediately know that's Stan Lee. Like he has a pipe and everything. But like
wow,
he had like the big Larry King glasses on. I was like, wait a second. I think that was the cameo. I think Hugh Hefner. We should do power rankings for these two and put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put that together and get it for next week.
Yeah.
Which we will be covering Thor.
Thor.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fun one. And we have big news next week that we're going to be letting out as far as our spoiled rotten movies. We'll be moving into a little bit more legitimate place. So look out for that. We'll announce that next week, and it's going to be fun. But Zane, it was great talking to you today. Thank you, everyone that listened.
Oh.
And
we got to talk through the outro.
Yeah, we're going to talk through the...
Make sure you like us on Facebook.
That's right.
Which is where we're streaming right now. If you're streaming through one of our profiles, make sure you go over there.
And
follow
YouTube.
us on Twitter at Rotten Boys. Follow us on Instagram at Spoiled Rotten Podcast. We're available on Spotify, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Breaker,
and YouTube.
Anchor, and YouTube. You can see these
now
live
too.
streams there.
Yep.
I think that's everything. We'll try to do better next time.
We sure will.
And that's been Spoiled Rotten Movies, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're done.